What's going on, guys? Pumped to be back today. Oh, Jesus, I knocked my computer over here. Here we go. Welcome back. I'm Dane. Welcome to DeFi Crypto Alliance, where we are doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors and entrepreneurs alike, where crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. We are doing our best to be the bridge to be able to make sure that everybody understands this opportunity and takes advantage of it however they may see fit. We have tons of people that we've been preaching crypto to for months, finally reaching back out here in the last few days, and we are incredibly excited to be a part of all of your journey. So welcome along, Corey. Take it away.
Good morning, Hexicans. What a pump day today is. Guys, this is so super exciting. We are been pumping like crazy since the OA bought, which I think he bought at the right time because he protected us from the downward pressure of the sell-off of the ETF. This has been super exciting. Richard Heart fighting against back the SEC. I know it's kind of old news, but me and Dane have been on vacation. So we are just super stoked to be on this journey with you guys where we're going to use crypto as that wealth creation tool and use real estate as a wealth preservation tool when the timing is right to change the trajectory, not only of our lives, but our families' lives, our friends' lives, and anybody who wants to go on this journey with us. And man, I am super, super excited on this pump today. We haven't stopped pumping. I'm like, when does it stop? When can we get a retracement and maybe get another buy order in? And for some of you guys who store DCA, it has been just wild, man. I'm super, super stoked. I'm still a little sick, as you guys probably can hear. Get back from Puerto Rico over here to Arizona, and it's just been cold, and my family's been sick twice now. I want to go back to the island, man. I don't even want to be here anymore. I'm ready to get back to the island. I'm like, let's go back to Puerto Rico and then experience the pump that we've been having, and it's been fun. You're on mute, Dane.
Thank you. Yep, I said I'm with you. It's incredibly excited to have some green candles finally. And like I titled the show, I mean, what more confirmation could you want than the SAC wallet buying up all the RH stuff that are so near and dear to our hearts? I mean, I'm telling you guys, I did not think that we would see this activity from the SAC wallet. I thought for sure that with the SEC case ongoing, I thought we'd have at least 6 to 12 months before the SAC wallet did anything, if it did anything at all. And we're seeing the same game plan that Richard ran last. Well, once again, we don't know who's in charge of the SAC wallet.
Greg the Duck.
Greg the Duck. But we're seeing the exact same game plan as we saw with Hex, where early on, you saw a nice big sell-off, you shake out the weekends, and then the OA in that scenario started really pushing things, the Godwell, so on and so forth. We're seeing that scenario. Now.
Godwell.
Same exact thing. Hex largely led the last DeFi run. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I thought we were gonna lag this time around with the SEC case, but it looks like we're leading here as well. We're just so freaking excited. Congrats to everyone that's been willing to either hold on to their bags or buy these lows, or even if you sold and you're buying back, props to you. We're glad to have everybody.
Yeah, there's a couple guys on Twitter, man. It's funny because I'm going through yesterday, and there's some guys who are coming back in, and they're talking about how bullish they are on Paul Sachs. So I'm like, bro, you were just talking trash
last for months.
All I did, dude, because we got to get rid of the toxicity in our ecosystem and in our community. All I said is, welcome back, sir, and I gave him a salute. That's all I did. So welcome back, and I gave him the little salute emoji, and that's it. Let's be nice to these guys. We all make mistakes. We're all human, right? There's people out there who have families. They are trying to just make their best out of the information and decisions they have. We all get fudded out sometimes, whether we sell or not. That sucks. Fortunately enough, me and Dane didn't sell. We stuck through, and we stuck to our guns and kept DCAing. But if these guys want to come back in and they're seeing the light now, let them back in. Be nice to them. Don't be toxic to them. We need everybody participating and coming in and buying our bags, including the influencers. Just because an influencer might have talked trash about us 6 months ago, and he's talking about maybe buying in today, or, oh my gosh, this is green, I need to look in it. Let's let them do that. Open. what is it? You want to open your arms to them to come into the community, right? Guys. And I've seen a lot of toxicity around the community where, and everyone already knows about the stupid drunk street.
Yeah.
That, like, okay, so the guy on there bought into another ecosystem. Who cares? Like, whatever, dude. Like, he's still hardcore RH. Anyone's allowed to do whatever they want with their bags. It's not you. It's not up to you to be the judge and the juror on them if they want to participate and do what they want with their money. It's just not up to you. You're not the judge or juror. You're not even Richard Hart, and he's not even a judge and juror about what you can do with your money in your bags. And so we got to be a little bit more careful with that stuff. And we need to be a community with open arms now. And let's onboard the world. Let's bring it all in, guys. This is a beautiful community. I love all you guys. All you guys are amazing people. And I want to build on this.
Yep. It's not rocket science. We need more people. We need more money, whatever it means to be able to get that in. Like, we're here for it. Of course, within reason, right? Of course, within reason. But man, like, there's so many ways that people could resolve conflict far more effectively than has been more recently in some of these other places. Man, you guys, it's not that this isn't hard. Mute and block the people that don't serve you, that don't bring peace and happiness and good insights into your
or have a conversation with them off public, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I saw you shilling on Twitter, which I know you wouldn't, Dane, like, say you were shilling something that was very questionable.
Sure.
And I was like, dude, I don't know if you should be doing that, man. You might get some people wrecked, whatever. I'm not going to call you out on live stream.
Yeah, you reached out to me.
I'm going to call you on the phone, like, bro, like, hey, man, I don't know about that protocol, man. Did you just check out X, Y, and Z? Have you seen this? Have you seen, maybe, we're going to have a man-to-man chat about it off in private.
Right. Like, I wouldn't get drunk and then get on stream and then want to talk to you about it.
And call you a prick and talk about your mom and talk about it's just so bad. It's so bad.
And I also think it's important to call out behavior when you disagree with it, right? Like, Corey and I are easy. Like, we're here for it, right? There's going to be drama. There's going to be messes. There's also going to be a lot of bright spots. And we like to generally stay out of all that. But gosh, it's another level when you're laughing about someone's, coming up from nothing story, when you're laughing about their family members dying. Fuck you if that's how you feel. Like, it's so inappropriate. And I think it's important to call bad behavior when we see it too, to be able to set a culture for the community that you want to be a part of. Would you be buying if you saw that behavior and that was one of your first interactions with the community? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't touch it. There's no way. And so it's important to be able to see that. And it's different. So, like, for instance, I don't know if you guys do this. I certainly do. But I want to go, like, when I see things like that, I don't judge it at face value. I want to see how people are responding to it.
Yeah.
Because one thing if it's a bad apple, it's another if everyone agrees. So I see something like that, and I go into the comments. And I do this with everything. And I imagine many of you guys watching do the same thing as me. I think most people do this. And I want to go into the comments. I want to make a judgment call and say, like, okay, what does everyone else think about this? And if most other people in the comments are like, no, fuck you guys, we don't agree with this, then I'm about it, right? Then I'm not leaving forever. So, like, have accountability, try to be as appropriate as possible. And once again, we want everybody. We want all the people, we want all the money.
Even on the show, man, they were their followers, their diehard followers were telling them they were wrong on the show. I watched a part of it. I didn't watch all of it. It was too much. I watched maybe like 40 minutes of it when I was on the plane coming back from Texas. And even the chat was like scolding them. And it's just like, come on, guys. God, we're all grown adults here, but like, I don't know, when you throw this much money in with people who don't have the mindset trained for making wealth, that's the problem. I feel like a lot in crypto is that, it's the lottery winner type mindset. People were never prepared for wealth in their life. And so it's how it affects them. Affects everyone differently. Money is also, guys, an amplifier of who you are as a person. So if you're a shitty person and you come into a lot of money, well, you're going to be even a shittier person in life, and that's with your friends, family, how you do business. It's just how you roll. if you're a beautiful person, you love to give, you're just a great person all the way around, love, create value. When you get money, you're going to be that person times 10. It's an amplified version of you. And that's what's great about money, is that it does expose the person you are. So that's what we're seeing a little bit in the community. So pick your tribe wisely.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Super Snig nailed it there. Absolutely. And have some grace too. You know, people are gonna make mistakes. If they want to come back and kind of like take some steps back and apologize, you know, like we're here for it. It's cool. If you want to come back and make amends, like
Dane, it took a lot. It took a lot when I was seeing those guys on Twitter who were coming back and giving praise to RH and talking about, oh, I should buy Paul Sachs. That's the one that's running. I'm like, huh? What? Like, it's, dude, I wanted
it's hard to make room in your heart. Yeah.
I wanted to so bad to go on there and just be like, bro, what the F are you talking about, dude? All you do is spit. We don't want you here. Like but I took a step back. I'm like, welcome back, sir. That's, took a step back, and and be the better person. I'm going to be the better person. Unfortunately, with that situation too, there was other people in the community who was even worse that got racial with the whole thing.
Yeah, come on.
It got bad, but toxicity breeds toxicity. And that's how it works. And so, like, at some point, you got to take a step back and be the better person. That's it.
Yep, absolutely. I love this. Can't wait to have a ton of cash to see who I am.
Well, hopefully, if you're in our comments, we already got a good idea who you are. Hopefully, we're attracting the right tribe to our show. So,
yep, absolutely. And like Corey said, it'll just be a magnifier of the type of person that you already are. So it's important. I'm telling you guys, if you're not building your own mindset, not building your own framework of a belief structure of how you see the world, you're building it in such a way that's full of positivity and energy and light. We can go down that path and God and all that type of stuff. If you're not building that, I'm telling you guys, you're going to lose the money. You're not going to keep it. You're going to lose the money. You're going to be more sad than you were. You're going to be more depressed. Your life is going to be worse. Freaking lose it. So it's incredibly important you build that stuff now.
Got to work on yourself every day. You got to work on yourself. I'm always working on, I want to get better 1% a day at spiritual, mental, physical, and financial. That's my 4 pillars. But notice I have the financial last. It's spiritual, mental, then physical, then financial. So like work on that stuff every single day. That is key. That is absolutely key.
Absolutely. What did I wanted to give a shout out, man. All right, let me find it here. It's going to take me a second, but we are going to watch this today.
While you're doing that real quick, I like what Fast Abdul's building over there with the 2 Fucks protocol.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some cool stuff going on. Fast Abdul, reach out to me again. Let's see if we can get you scheduled on the show. The reason why I love it is because I love the Fucks protocol, and I've been providing liquidity there since day one. Like, I've been day one liquidity guy over there. Love it. Love that protocol because it's a balancer fork. Your weighted averages help you not get the impermanent loss. It's great, man. And so he's building a protocol on top of Fucks where you get to participate in the whale rewards. If you don't have enough Fucks to get you the 2x multiplier, I think it's 2x, it's 3x, 2.5x multiplier, you can go through their protocol and get that. So definitely have to have them on sometime and talk more about it. I don't want to butcher it. But I'm excited because, when someone comes out with something cool, it's really cool when they start building on top of it. It's like, all right, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to chat about that more. That would be cool. I'm with you there. All right, this is loading. Hold on 1 second. I'm really curious. What do you guys think in the comments? So I'll be honest. I'm feeling a little euphoric. Are you also feeling a little euphoric, Corey?
Yeah, but I'm not to the point where I want to sell the bag.
No. I'm not looking to sell. If the sack wallet's buying, all bets are off. Throw the T8 out the window in a lot of respects. But man, yeah, I'm feeling a little euphoric, which means that there's probably a pullback due. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? I want to hear what you're thinking.
Any TA guys in the chats too would be great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tetra's making an all-time high. Oh my gosh. So glad I packed my bags, man.
Oh, bags are packed. It feels nice to see the portfolio up. I don't know why.
I think Tetra's a sleeping giant. I mean, we'll see when the protocol launches. That thing, the market cap is so small, it could just go.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Okay, let's see if this will freak him. Okay. Oh, hold on. This is loading here.
While you're doing that, I'll see if there's any other in the chat. Norbert, what's up, my man? Always good seeing you. Yeah, Ben said, calm down, bro. You almost knocked your computer over.
Hey, we're here for it, man. Maybe I will. I'll knock it over one of these days when Richard lights the green candles. I'll take my computer and I'll break it against the
Just
desk.
smash it, bro. Like, you just buy another one. Who cares? Ruth, what's up from the UK? What time's it there? I bet it's late. Good smiles. Yeah, we're all over the fork here. Oh, here we. Oh, yeah.
Hey, this is the dopest. This is so cool. Yeah.
Hey, Kaiser, what's up, my man? All right.
Hey, and Kaiser, shout out to Kaiser. Kaiser clipped this stuff up that we're gonna watch here for just a few minutes for me already. So I'm gonna start posting that on Twitter. Shout out to Kaiser. Appreciate you. It means the world that you're willing to help out. So I'll start posting that. But man, shout out to Cabana Crypto, Maddie All In, Big K, Dylan, Buck. They're on stream and give us a little shout out. So I wanted to thank them. We're really appreciative to be here. And let's go ahead and play it real quick. Let's see. Let me know if you can hear the audio here, Corey, or maybe I need to switch it over 1 second.
But one of the things that you mentioned is a real estate bros. And I don't know if you caught it, but we have I don't know if he's a billionaire technically, but we have Robert G. Allen in our community now.
Oh, yeah.
He did a 20-minute talk at the Hex conference. I need to clip that and put it as a separate talk because I think it's a great onboarding tool. This is somebody who believed in Richard Hart, Pulse Chain, Hex, and the community, and was a member of the community before this recent blast off that we've had in price. And he has written 7 books on passive income. A bunch of people in the audience at the conference had read his books and didn't know he was in Hex. And so this is another major asset that we have, like an ally.
Yeah, that's Corey and Dane's guy. Corey and Dane have been playing this game.
Shout out to them. Yep.
Extremely well.
They're doing it right.
Oh yeah.
I've gone to those conferences with them. I went on stage and I spoke for a brief moment in front of 1,200 people, and all of them had to pay to be there, right? And it's not, it was the room atmosphere was not like regular Joe Schmo, they were well off, right? And they killed it at that conference in Dallas. They are definitely doing it right. They're shilling Pulse products, they're shilling PH stuff, they're shilling passive income, they're showing how to be validators, they're teaching everybody how to do this stuff. They're doing it right. And these no coiners, they don't care. They just know that crypto is an asset class that they can have in their portfolio, and it is worth getting that exposure, right? And all they need is somebody to just hold their hand and get them, get their foot in the door, and that's what they're doing. It's a great thing, and they're doing it right. I love those guys. Please, those guys are doing it right. Help them out.
Shout out to them.
I think as we now officially have the confirmation of the BuckRock ETF on our screen, I think what you said there was just kind of in passing very casually, but they paid to be there, so it's not like a community circle jerk kind of thing. Even though our community, I think, throws the best events because I've been to them and they're absolutely outstanding. But for onboarding, we have to reach out of those circles and do what Corey and Dane are doing. And if people are paying to be at something, they expect, I guess, a little more value because
those VIP guys, there's about 200 VIPs, and there's private dinners and stuff like that. But those VIPs, there's about 200 of them, and they all pay $2,000 to be there.
Yeah. And because of that, I think they feel that they are, no matter what it is, even if somebody's pitching, maybe not snake oil, but something that they don't fully understand, they put more value into that because it's like, oh, well, how'd these guys get here? It's not just a free thing that I stumbled upon.
Yeah.
These guys actually, have a reason, have the backing to be here, and it puts a little bit more credit, I guess, on the presenters. I guess if that's a good way of saying it. So
it's a big deal to get more whales into the system. So yeah,
whales lives matter, guys. Come on,
whales lives matter. Motley Investor, real estate guys have always been the easiest crossover into crypto in my experience.
Yeah, they get the risk. They just want a little exposure. They get it.
And I guess on a lengthened scale, they're also used to cycles. So
yeah, exactly.
They understand that concept as well.
So hey, that was great. We appreciate the OGs giving us a shout out. It's been really cool to see what many of them have paved the way here for us to all be taking part of here in the bottom of the or near the bottom of the bear market. So appreciate you all, sirs. Thank you for the shout out, and just blessed to be part of the community here.
Yeah, and I want to touch on one thing that Dylan brought up there that was very powerful. The fact that, so what we do, guys, is why we onboard no coiners and guys who are in real estate, and because one, real estate people understand risk. They have a little bit of money. They want exposure and other stuff because they have shiny object syndrome. But the great thing about that is you could tap into, and this could be like an e-commerce community. Maybe you join the local Corvette club, maybe a stack community. Go find entrepreneur type communities or certain wealth communities that, tap into those, because no coiners don't have any biases. They're not like tied down to Cardano and think Charles Hoskinson is the best thing since sliced bread. And so when you try to talk about Richard Hart to them, they throw eggs at you, right? Like that's like what we get in crypto. We don't have that issue with no coiners. They don't have any biases. They don't know any better. They're like, oh yeah, Hex did a 10,000x. Oh, I can get on something on almost on the ground floor today, and by the same guy who created that. Oh, they don't have this stuff, right? They don't even care about the SEC. Some of these guys are like, oh, the SEC's after Richard. We have one guy. He goes, oh, that's bullish. That's like because he felt like it gave the exposure to our ecosystem worldwide.
So XRP,
yeah, like the XRP thing. And he was so bullish on it. And he was a big heavy hitter in real estate. So these guys think differently when they're not in crypto. And so, you got to find ways to go out there. And I know you've heard us talk about on the show many times, but Dylan kind of touched on it there. These no coiners, they're coming to do a real estate event. So that's not our real estate event, guys. We paid to speak on stage there, actually. But they're paying the guys who are putting the event on, and they're right. When they're paying to be there, they're going to listen to the speakers with intent because they're paying. So they want value taken out of that event. And so they're going to listen to us versus if you're just throwing a free crypto event where a bunch of the Hexicans are showing up. And I love Hexicans. Don't get me wrong. I love Hexicans. But, then it's like, who are you onboarding really? It's a fun time to sit and hang out and talk about the things we love and create relationships in the community, which I think those are good for. I've created some beautiful relationships in this community. I have some really good friends now because of those type of events. But those aren't great for onboarding. Those aren't great for bringing millions of dollars of new money into the ecosystem is what we want. So keep that in the back of your head, guys, back your mind, guys. Maybe it's like if you're working a 9 to 5, what industry are you in? Maybe you could talk to your boss. Can you onboard your boss? Can you onboard, like type people who are like your boss or something? You got to get out there and tap into other niches, right? Other niches and other entrepreneurial type people and people with a little bit of money, and that's the trick. And real estate's our gig and our jam because me and Dane have been doing real estate for the last, 8-9 years. I met Dane, actually, I don't know if you guys know this story. I'm sure we told it way back in the day. Shortly after I got into real estate, one of the first masterminds that we joined, Real Estate Mastermind, and those you have to pay for. I'd paid $18,000 to be part of that mastermind. It included some private coaching where the guy flew out to my house and privately coached me too. But 18 grand to be in that group. So obviously I'm going in with a lot of intent to learn and I'm creating relationships. And that's where I met Dane for the first time. That was like 8 or 9 years ago. And so, so tap into wherever you can tap into, go out there and scream. The prices today, in my opinion, if you do not have a bag, these are still great prices, in my opinion. Great prices. We're only up 70%, 80% for the bot. What is it? If I look at Pulse, Pulse is up like a 3x. Pulse, okay, but we're up like a 2 or 3x on all the assets. That's what we are. Right. So still a lot of room, guys, from these levels.
So much room.
A lot of room. So go out there, scream at the top of your lungs. We're in the beginning of the market cycle. Remember, it's all about the cycle. That's the most important thing. Bitcoin halving is not for another 3 or 4 months. It's in April. We had to buy the rumor, sell the news with the ETF. Richard Hart propped us up through the ETF FUD. And then we'll probably have another buy the rumor, sell the news during the halving, and then it's like go time, right? And so we still have good and it's probably maybe in a month or two after that. So we have a good, I would say, 4 or 5 months where people probably could still get some, legendary pricing on these assets. No financial advice whatsoever, right? I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You can also go buy bonds, like Sami always says. You can go buy bonds and go buy stocks, talk to a financial advisor. That's the way you want to create wealth. Great. This is what I'm going to do to create wealth.
Right. Right.
This is my jam for creating wealth. Jeez.
Right.
This boy right here. Let's
And
go.
we've said it. I mean, we've been saying it for months, for freaking months. What had changed? What had changed with the Richard Heart ecosystem? Well, nothing had really changed. All the mechanics were still here. The builders were still building.
Yes.
Richard was still here. He didn't die, or he wasn't AI like some of the people were saying. He was still commenting and tweeting. It wasn't live streaming, but that's all right. He was still here. You saw updates with some of the behind the scenes stuff from his team. Like, he was here. I love some of the FUD. It's hilarious to look back and people say, oh, Richards probably thinks he's so smart he doesn't even have a team of attorneys. Or, oh, Richards devs are crap because look at PulseX. Like, this is such garbage. Why didn't they give us all of the cool stuff up front when it made no sense to release all those features? Like, come on, this isn't freaking rocket science. Nothing changed other than the SEC case being in place. And frankly, I think as a smart investor, you have to take a step back and you have to make a decision about how that may or may not influence your investment thesis. But I don't think it's right nor wrong, however you may have felt about it. But gosh, you see Richard fighting now. You see his team of attorneys. I guarantee there's going to be some really cool features coming out for PulseX. In fact, you guys in the comments, when does V3 come out? Because I promise it's freaking coming. Richard wants V3 to manage the liquidity in concentrated pools, so we don't know who the OA is, but someone that will not be named here wants that to pump price and make it easier to do so. So when is V3 coming out? When are limit orders? All that stuff's coming, in my opinion. It's just a matter of the right timing for it. And so, like, nothing really changed other than the SEC case. And so you had to make your bets. You had to make your decisions. And it looks like PulseChain is going to largely be leading the DeFi craze for this next bull run. Already SAC wallet buy. Like, I don't know what more confirmation that you need if you've been around here for any amount of time. I feel as excited as I could have been, and we're here for growth. So let's freaking do it.
Let's go, man. Yeah, I don't. The only other way you would think there's not opportunity here is if you're letting your ego get in the way. One of my favorite sayings, and I don't know if I created this saying or if I heard it from somebody else, is ego is the biggest killer of opportunity. Don't let your ego get in the way, because the guy was twerking on Twitter a year and a half ago, and that made you mad. Right. Whatever. Like, I get it. I didn't like the twerking either. Whatever. I'm it's like you're out there making an ass of yourself. It's fine. And you know what, though, guys? He did grow his Twitter account. I think the metrics was like, I think he got 50,000 followers during that outrage marketing phase he was going through. That was the whole point. Was just trying to grow the followers on his Twitter. And I think he succeeded at that. Now, whether he grew followers that were actually buying or people who just hated him, I don't know if that one. It's like that old saying, bad publicity is good publicity, because he was creating bad publicity for himself.
Right.
I think there was some good things that came out of that. Obviously, there were some bad things, and it is what it is. He probably did get the SEC light shined on him by being the way he was. But, man, I'm thankful for it, because obviously I was able to accumulate a pulse bag that I would have never been able to do, prior of this, because I was not in the sacrifice, as you guys know. Neither was Dane. We missed a Pulse sacrifice. We came in PulseX. I threw 6 figures at PulseX. We all know how what PulseX did. I didn't do very well, even though I still believe in it. I still hold a bag, a very big bag. But ideally, that was not a great investment at the time, because we were investing during the bull run. That money got frozen in time, and then it came out in the bear market. Of course, people are going to sell now. When you look back in time, it's so obvious now. Obviously, then it wasn't obvious, but now it's so obvious. But we didn't have the chance to accumulate Pulse. When that's what I did during his SEC FUD, is, man, people were saying, oh, buy Hex, buy PulseX, and so on. Man, I was just buying Pulse, man. And even though Pulse is probably pumping the least hardest now, it's just right now, you give it a minute, when these ratios start closing, Pulse will be the one that'll come out number one. That's my opinion, not financial advice again. Not financial advice again. I could be totally wrong. Maybe EHEX blows the pants off everything.
Right.
Don't know. But I was buying Pulse, man, through all the fun. All the fun. I'm like, and it felt bad, dude. Like I felt like, man, I'm putting all my money in here, and I basically have no money. I mean, I have money to live, but like I have no money in my bank. I mean, I got a little bit of money in my bank, but like but it's not like it was, right? I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in my bank no more. Like,
Cash poor, crypto rich.
It's all right. Cash poor, crypto rich, because I kept putting money in during that FUD. And it hurt. It hurt because you're thinking like, man, what if like the DOJ goes after him because he really is evading the whole thing? And what if the guy on Twitter is right that he's going to run and just avoid this? And you have those go through your head, but you stick to your conviction. You stick to your beliefs. You stick to what you know. And that's what, even though I wanted to throw up when I pushed the buy button, literally like puke in my mouth, you do it. You do it.
Right. Well, in the end of the day, yeah, you make an investment thesis. Oh, this is another thing I want to talk about. So I think it's incredibly important, especially now. In fact, I made a post on Twitter about this. Like your brain is like a tree, and it's really important that like you're very selective of things that remain there. So like branches that are wilting or dying, you trim those off on a tree, and you want to make sure that during this time, as you're building your bags, that you're being very intentional about how you prune that tree, which is your mind. And one of those things is social media and what you let into your mind, because make no mistake about it, you're going to be influenced by everything that you take in. And so it's important, like we talked about earlier, not only to phase out the stuff that's toxic and negative, but make sure that you're being very mindful of who's been accurate and made good decisions and calls through this bear market. For instance, if somebody went and sold their whole bag from one thing, and I don't even care what it is, cryptocurrency tickers aside, if somebody went and sold their whole bag from token A to go into token B, well, it generally is not a good investment thesis. A good investor generally has a thesis and a plan made out. They buy the things that meet their plan. And then if reasons come to change, then it's typically small incremental pivots over time.
Yes.
Diversification is great, but very rarely do you see a really good investor go from all out of asset one to asset two. That's just
all in.
Yeah, that's just FOMO. That's not good investing.
Emotions.
Yeah, it's emotions. Exactly. You're playing off emotions. And so Corey and I, we make sure that we're not those guys, that we're being smart and very strategic about how we're doing things. We try to bring you guys the best information. I think it's incredibly important that you find and you cultivate those same types of people on social media so you can make the best decisions, because I promise you those things are going to affect you. And it's incredibly important so that you can win this next bull run. Because unfortunately, not everybody here is going to win it because you don't have the right mindsets or whatever it may be. We're here to help you win. I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest bull market hacks.
Yep. I feel like we're already seeing that, right? Because a lot of the community dropped off. And it's funny how the timing was so on point. When we saw a lot of the OGs, and we're not going to call nobody out here. In fact, they can do whatever they want with their money. I love them the same. Like if I see them tomorrow, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to go up and talk to him. I'm going to have coffee with them. I'm going to talk to him like he's my friend, because he is my friend. Even though he made that decision, it's his money, whatever. But like it is crazy how we saw that transpire. Token A, if you will, Dane, or maybe even community or ecosystem A going into ecosystem B right before the OA started buying. It was literally the biggest bottom signal that we could have witnessed in the RH ecosystem, was that transfer of money. And I saw like really large money. I saw a couple of $500,000 sales on PulseX and Pulse and go into that other ecosystem. And it was, that was literally maybe 2 weeks or to a month before the OA did their first buy. And then Richard came out and said, hey, I'm fighting the SEC. So it was, the wrong X. And nothing wrong with the wrong X. Maybe the wrong X does well for these guys in this bull run. Like you guys have heard my opinion on that. In fact, I even have a small little lottery play. I like lottery plays. You guys have heard me talk about that. But they are lottery. they're lottery plays. They're not. I did not touch any of my RH holdings or my RH DCA plan, right? Lottery play is something that's, like Sami talks about all the time. It's 5% or so of your portfolio that you're going to, and that's the total, right? You should have more than like just one lottery play. You should have a few of them in there that you're going in there. It does one thing. You don't feel the FOMO of other ecosystems then because you participate in just a little bit. You got your little stick in the fire, if you will, like this, just in case it does catch on fire, you're able to get a little bit of rewards out of that, and you can bring it back into your ecosystem. So it does do that. It helps you keep yourself in check, and it allows you to have fun with a little bit. I mean, we're all in here to make crazy gains, make some money, but we want to have fun too. And sometimes when you are holding just your core bags, even if you're providing liquidity, even if you're staking, it can get kind of boring when stuff's not coming out. You want to go play with other toys. I get it. So that's also, it scratches that itch too. But you got to do it very, very responsibly. Very responsibly. And so just, take that in mind, take that at heart, going through. You think this is the last of the FUD. It's not. I think because Hex, even when it started going and doing its thing, it still had I don't know, they said, and you guys, some of the OGs in the comments, 5, 6, 8, 80% pullbacks while it was doing its thing. And they were getting all kinds of FUD and saying it's dead. You're going to see that again all throughout this bull run. The FUD's not over. It's not over. And it could be Richard goes to court and they postpone the court or whatever. I don't know. It could be anything. And there could be a change in the document. Now all the FUDers are coming out and giving a reason why it changed and how it's all doom and gloom from this point. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. And you have to be mentally prepared again. Now, if you've made it this far and you didn't sell a single RH coin, you're probably going to be fine. If you lasted through this last FUD, I can't. There's probably no FUD that will shake you out now, but it's still coming, guys. There's still more to come. It's not over. None of this is easy. It's fun and it's rewarding, but it's not easy. Brizology's here. Damn it! Is this
wrap up the show?
Are we at the top? Brizology's a top signal for all the YouTube shows. That's
Hey, we got another 15 minutes. He's good today.
we're good. We're good, man.
But no, you nailed it, Corey. In fact, I wish I'd have saved the chart. Somebody put together a cool one on Twitter where you saw, there was I feel like there was 13, but maybe I'm misstating it. But nonetheless, a good amount of dips, whereas an 80 to 90% pullback on Hex's ride to 10,000x.
Yeah, it's crypto.
Yeah, it's crypto.
This is not going to go up even though it's euphoric now. That's right. And this is kind of, you said earlier, Dane, this could be a local top we're in right now because we're all high as a kite right now. Right. Dane's breaking his computer and we're just
right.
We're high as a kite right now. And it could be a local top, and that's fine. It's fine. Let it pull back 30%, 50%. Let it come down to the last resistance. Let us DCA again. Ignore the FUDers. They're going to come out of the woodwork again. Ignore them. Mute them. Dane's good at muting them. And go on with your business and investment thesis, because that's what this is. And you have to stick to that conviction. You do. And it's tough sometimes. Even though you throw up in your mouth and you haven't eaten all day. That's what it felt like every time I bought the RH asset.
That's a great description.
the last 3 or 4 months, man, feeling like, God, I moved my whole family to Puerto Rico and I'm still buying this asset that's down 90 to 99% out here in a crazy country, and I'm buying it. Dude, it was wild.
It's wild. Yep. Agreed. Phil makes a great point here. Yeah, Earn will launch soon, which will lock up a lot of pull ticks too, which will make it go, or theoretically could make it go up a lot faster also, which is really exciting. And hey, credit where credit is due. I give the Power City guys a lot of heat in their Telegram, asking about updates and when they would launch, and they've launched. So credit where credit's due. Grateful they're here. It's really cool to see what they're building. NFTs turned out dope. and really excited to see their stuff, them continue to launch the stuff that they're building. Really cool.
I'm ready for it too, man, because I am printing money on the liquid loan stability pool. Like, I love that pool. If you, like, I love node validating. Most of you guys know that. That's my biggest shtick in the community. I love stacking up my node validators. But recently, all my pulse that I've been DCAing into, I've been sticking in a vault, and very responsibly. I don't go way crazy into leverage. I stick that USDL in the stability pool. Why I really like that strategy is because if Pulse started dropping or the ecosystem started getting crushed, I have my USDL readily available to go out and close that loan whenever I want. I didn't go spend that USDL on another volatile asset that can drop 80%. Now I'm stuck with the money to pay my loan back if the ecosystem's dropping. I'm in a stable coin producing yield. And I can pay that loan back anytime I want. So I love that
I
strategy.
like how you're managing that. That's a lot of wisdom.
You got to manage it. Yeah, you got to manage it. You got to manage it responsibly. I mean, I eat, sleep, and breathe crypto every day. So obviously, you need to be looking at your computer every day. And even in my onboards, like I have a couple onboards that are doing this. There's a couple onboards that are like, man, I don't want to do that. Like, that's too much responsibility, and that's fine. Like, know that about yourself. But like one of my onboards, and you know him, he's like one of the biggest ones in our community, Dane. He loves it. He's printing money with it. And I'm going to do the same thing with Earn. I'm going to stick all my PulseX in there. I'm going to pull out the PXDC or whatever it's called, and I'm going to stick it in their stability pool and print more cash. Use that money. I mean, for me, I'm using that money to DCA. Now, I know we had talked about this before the show, Dane. If I'm DCAing at these higher prices, I don't feel bad about DCAing higher prices if I'm printing money from passive income and DCAing with that. Like, let's all day. I'll do that all day. I'll keep putting in Pulse, keep putting in Hex, and keep building my position the best I possibly can. Because I still feel like we still have a far away from the top, very far away. And so building the position still while we're in here in the bear, it's still a bear market for the most part into the Bitcoin halving, in my opinion. But we are leading the DeFi charge. Maybe it's not a bear market no more. Now that I really think about it, for Pulse Chain, because we're leading that charge, and then maybe we broke out of that bear from this point on, even though we'll still have pullbacks.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So appreciate you guys here that are here. I think this is our highest attended show that we've ever had when it's just me and Corey. So if you're new here, we appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. We're here to pump your bags, try to give you some insights to make you or to help you win this next bull run. And be honest. I think it's hard to find a lot of honesty that we all wish we would have gotten when we were earlier in our crypto journey.
Yeah.
We try to be here to provide that. So make sure you like and subscribe. We're here to help everybody.
Yeah. Smash the like, hit the bell notification, and we're going to keep content coming all throughout this bull run. And I don't know if you guys know a little bit about backstory about me and Dane's show. We started this show 1 year. It was this last November, 1 year from this last November. And if you guys don't know, that was in my opinion, the absolute low for Hex. So obviously it was pre-fork. It was when Hex was running sideways. Hex ran sideways for about, I would say, 6 months at 3 cents. It was like a stable coin. I remember watching Randy Hilarski, and he'd comment all the time, oh, this is a stable coin. What the heck? We had 3 cents for like 6 months. Then the Four Horsemen, that's what Sami likes to call them, came out and started selling real heavily, and they capitulated the price chart down to 1.7 cents. It was down there for a few weeks. That's when me and Dane started streaming. Because we were down there in that capitulation zone. The reason why I wanted to stream was because it would help me get my mind off of that and get my beliefs back up again and get me some energy, right? And so that's why I felt like it was needed at the time, and to help you guys also, obviously, if you guys were to come watch our show then, to try to get you guys some energy and some beliefs still in the ecosystem, still in the assets. And we popped out of it. I do believe to this day, and in fact, I was talking with Axis Alive the other day in his private room, and he believes the same thing. That would have been Hex's bottom had it not been for Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain just screwed the whole entire ecosystem up in a good way long term. Don't get me wrong, long term, which is going to be amazing for all of our bags and our assets, but in the short, mid, and even maybe in this cycle, it really threw a wrench at Hex. It kind of knocked it right off its bike. It's like I guess it fell over, and then we went down. And I don't know, combined Hex. I don't know if you guys know in the chat. I would like to know what combined Hex all-time low was. I do believe it was 1.1 or right around 1. If you guys know in the chat, would love to know what our all-time low for combined Hex was. And one reason why I contribute that too is the pulse chain fork happening now. Instead of having 1 or even 2 assets to buy, now the investor, who's at the time we're in the middle of a bear market, the investor is just the Hexakin, right? That investor has to make a choice on buying 5 assets now. 4 mainly, but I throw the incentive token in there because we got Brizology in the chat. Brizology he's a Bitcoin and incentive token maxi. But you do have right now, you have to pick from, Pulse Hex, which are the new shiny kids in the block. You got P Hex and E Hex, which was getting hate like crazy at the fork, if you guys remember. And so, like, that's what caused that last capitulation down. So I would like to know. I'd be curious to know what that bottom was for combined Hex.
No lies detected. Yep, absolutely. We're here for you guys. Seriously, we've met some of the dopest people from being part of the community. Red Squirrel, Frank, Philip, Brizology, D9. I mean, we've got Moondot. I mean, I could put up every single one of your guys' comments. We appreciate all you guys. It's been a blast.
We appreciate all you. You guys make our show. Thank you so much for giving us the faith and confidence to provide value to you guys throughout this bloody bear market. Man, it was brutal. And if you didn't capitulate, props to you. You're effing awesome, and you're gonna get everything you deserve this bull run. Not financial advice. Go buy bonds, but my opinion, yes. I think all-time low combined was right around 1 cent. I think you're right.
That's pretty close, yeah.
Right at that penny area on both assets. Very, very well, yeah, no, wait. I think no, I remember now. It was a little lower than that because I remember P-Hex because we have a friend who is really good at buying the bottom. The guy is like perfect at buying the bottom. Young kid, you guys know him. But he bought P-Hex, was fighting over another OG. I remember he was telling me at half a penny. And I think E-Hex was at like
0.3 of a penny or
something like that. So it was something interesting. So what's 100x off of 0.8 of a penny? So I'm going to put you about 80 cents. 80 cents, which would be about right on par of getting that higher high off of what we did before. If that's the way, I'm not saying that's the way it's going to go, guys. I don't know. I don't know. It could also do just the retracement back. Sami did the fib retracement at one time where you get the 50%. I don't think it's going to do that. That's if RH still had a lot of uncertainty and then go back down. But that would make sense if that was. I wonder what that would land on a fib retracement to the upside on the higher side. That being the higher high, and then that being the market cycle high. And I'll tell you what, man. If it's 80 cents combined. Boy, it's going to be fun times.
Hey, that's great. Yeah, that'd be great. I tell you.
And I hope Johnny Chaos is right. I hope it's like $2 or $3.
I know Islands and Jets territory there.
Yeah. You guys are going to be coming out in Puerto Rico and hanging out and partying with us. That's for sure. By party, I mean like coffee and going to bed at 8 o'clock at night. So I hope you guys.
That's right. Me and Corey. That's right.
Maybe a Cava. I like Cava. Puerto Rico's got a nice little Cava bar, but I'm very, man. I just by 10 o'clock hits and I'm already like, man, just get to bed.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the comment. If I can't find it here, somebody's asking about our opinions on Fux. I think Fux is pretty freaking cool.
Love the protocol. It's been my favorite
since it launched.
Yeah, I've been in it since it's launched. I still got liquidity over there. I'll continue. Like, I built my bag in a way where, like, whatever liquidity I have in there, and I broke it up amongst mini pools that I like. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let that sit and cook and, like, create the passive income. And long term, I should come out, on top. I might have a little impermanent loss in certain assets, but I like the fact that they're weighted, so the impermanent loss is a lot less. there's a natural graph you guys can go look at over on the Balancer website that kind of gives you the impermanent loss expectation on some of these pools. But I love that about that. And
minimize your impermanent loss if you're providing an LP over there.
Great protocol. And I'll tell you what, if the 2Fucks team gets this protocol launched and they're able to get us a 2.5x multiplier and everything, minus there's a fee in there, guys, for the 2Fucks protocol. It's not going to be full 2.5. I can't remember how it works. We're going to bring them on sometime to talk about it and talk about bribes. Let's talk about bribes, which is really cool too, which is an over the off market transaction platform. Which you can sell your votes, which would be really cool. But if you can get that even a 2x multiplier on all the assets, that would bump a lot of your LP pools back up to like maybe 80% or in 100% plus. You'd be getting almost a full max. And totally worth it for me if you have a shaven off portion of your portfolio, and I have mine very small, that I have allocated long term for providing liquidity, so I can reap in the passive income. And I've been doing that all throughout the bear market. And even then this bear, what I was doing is I was taking the Fux rewards and I was buying Pulse. So what I'm doing with the loan token, I think loan token might do fine short term. It can have a run up. It's actually printing a bull flag on the chart. But I'm selling my loan token into the assets I want to keep accumulating and building. So I'm using that passive income to go into the stuff that I love. Not that loan token can't do 100x. I don't know. No financial advice, but it possibly could. Who knows? I'm not going to be able to reap the rewards for it because my stuff is locked up for 2 years. God, why did I lock it up for 2 years, man? I should have at least done. I had thought about a staking ladder where I had a portion coming out like every month leading up to. How cool would that be? You'd have like a portion unlocking of loan token coming out that you can go stick in the pool or sell into like whatever asset that you love. It could have been a form of its own passive income. Why didn't I do that? Lessons learned, man.
Lessons learned. Yep.
That'd have been awesome to do. I could have that coming out every single month. I hope some of you guys did that. I saw some of you guys, props to you guys, in the Liquid Loans chat back then talking about that. And my greedy ass was like, no, I'm going to do long-term before I get full max. God.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. It was greed to try to get as many tokens as humanly possible. Yep.
Greed at its finest. And tokens don't mean shit if the value doesn't mean shit.
Yep. You and me both. Yep.
It's fine. I'm happy.
Yep. I'm with you. Well, cool. We've got a bunch of guys here. Yeah, somebody's referencing Nagabo's video earlier.
All fake, man. He's asking community for money. I don't believe it because he's talking about. Here's why I don't believe it. I watched his stupid videos, right? This is how, because it's entertaining. He's talking about he's smoking crack, heroin, marijuana, all in the same pipe, all at the same time. Look, I have a history with drugs. I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. I've been sober for many years now. I've had my fair share of drugs, especially cocaine. If you were to do that and be smoking that all day, you'd kill yourself. You would overdose so fast, and you wouldn't be able to go on camera and put this show on for an audience and talk about, oh, poorest me, if you were smoking crack and heroin all day long together. It's not how it. That's how I know it's fake, at least to a certain regard. Now, whether or not he like cheated his 1.5 billion Pulse and 3 billion Pulse X bag for shit tokens, there's probably some truth to that. Because I saw him on Twitter all day long talking about his crystal ball and how he's going back and forth in trades. But don't fall for everything you believe, guys. I don't believe he's out there homeless, smoking crack and heroin. It's just not it. And he's just, community. Be careful where you send money to. That's all.
Yeah, be careful where you send money to. Let me see if I can find the tweet. This is pure comedy. Did you see? So Nagabo had his video, and he had a wall to dress up where you could donate to him if you felt bad and wanted to give him some money. And Corey, did you see what people were sending to him?
They were making like shit tokens with like crappy names and sending it to him. Like Nagarect.
Somebody sent him one beetroot token. It's worth about a penny. Apparently he thought it was worth $1,000, and then went and looked it up, and it's worth a penny. Pure comedy. We're here for it.
Oh my gosh, this is the only asset class that I know of that has this kind of like soap opera going on and comedy and everything like 24/7. The theatrics. I guess that's a good way to put it. The theatrics of the community and the people, and just there is no other asset class that you can participate in like this and be entertained to this degree. It's just not. It's not possible.
Agreed. Yeah. Shout out to Sami. Nagabo's donation wallet address. Pepe Polting-Venus. Bankrupt bitch. I mean, come on, man. It doesn't get any better than this. This is great.
Somebody sent him a little pulse X. Looks like he got 266,000 pulse X. That's a real asset.
It is. Yeah. Oh man, so good.
Oh, it's great.
What's up, Maddie jumped in. We gave you a shout out earlier, sir. So if you didn't see that, appreciate you and everything you've been doing, man. It's great.
Absolutely, man. The HEX conference was an absolute wild success. I had so much fun doing it, and me and Dane really appreciated you inviting us on, coming in there and bringing Robert Allen on. That was an absolute blast. And I absolutely, Dane, when you were in Peru, I got on to Matty Allen's. He did the most streamers world record on YouTube. And I heard him saying last night in the Twitter chat, he's going to submit it over to Guinness. I hope they respect it and they give us the accolades. But yeah, I got to participate in that.
I saw that. I wish if I was on vacation, I'd have been there. That was really cool.
That was a lot of fun. So we appreciate everything Matty does, man. And you know what's funny is that I feel like all this stuff is playing out like a movie. It's scripted. And Matty Allen's HEX conference was right on cue with the script. You had the SEC in the hack account a few days before the HEX conference. You have Richard Hart coming out, then talking about how he's going to fight the SEC right after the SEC was hacked, right before the HEX conference. Right, you have the OA buying right before the HEX conference. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, what? And then like the HEX conference coming out, like it was like a big giant scripted movie right on point. And I'm like, are we in a Matrix? Like Tommy talks about this stuff too, like how like all these things line up, and it's right on cue with where we're at in the market cycle. Like we're right on cue with the 4-year cycle. Like, what? We in the Matrix? It's like the aliens playing with us. They're like, watch these humans and see what they do. We're going to do the exact same thing for them every 4 years, but they'll still get it wrong.
Right. Like,
it's wild to me, man, to think about how stuff lines up. And there's no coincidence in life, in my opinion. Stuff is there for a reason. And like I tell you guys, I feel like, yeah, Naga's actually rich. If he's got 3 billion pulse X and 1.5 billion pulse, and he still has those bags, he's doing okay.
Yeah,
he's doing just fine. Don't send him any money, guys. He's doing just fine. I hope he sends that money back. If anyone really did send him some real money, that would be the real thing to do. If he's out there playing a game, totally cool. I get it. I love the theatrics, like I said. But do the honest thing and send the money back if people are sending you money.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Magic Carpet Ride. We are here for it. Absolutely. Let's run with I don't know if this is comedy and pulling our leg or serious, but we are going to pretend briefly like you're being serious. We'll help you out real quick. HEX is essentially like a store of deposit, like a CD on the blockchain, and where you can choose to participate in it however you see fit, where some people in the chat here, us included, you can go and you get to choose once you buy your HEX, you get to choose how long, or if you want to stake it at all. You can stake it clear up to 15 years if you want. And the longer that you stake, the more that you stake, the more HEX you get back in return. One of the big pushbacks on this model is people say, oh, where does the yield actually come from? And it's pretty remarkable. HEX emits less inflation than the dollar does. And the dollar has done all right for about 100 years. In fact, it emits...
It's like 200 years.
Yeah, 200 years, yeah. Admits less than, some of you guys in the comments will know the exact amount, but it's less than 4% annually. And the yield
3.68.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Thank you. That was great. Yeah, and the yield goes to the people that stake. So once again, the longer you stake, the more that you stake, the more rewards that you get. One of the qualifiers that I wish somebody would have said to us before we created our staking ladders was to be aware of the crypto cycles. At least thus far, they've been 4 years in length. And theoretically, if those cycles continue to play out, now nobody knows how this one's going to play out, but theoretically, if they do, we should see the next crypto top somewhere near the end of this year, somewhere clear up to maybe even the end of next year. And so I would be very conscious when building a staking ladder of those cycles, and I would try to build mine where my hex came due as best I could near the top of those cycles. So there's a very oversimplified version if your question was sincere. And if you're just joking, we're here for the jokes too.
He is serious there. Yeah, it's Abilene, hope I'm not butchering your name. It imitates a certificate of deposit on the blockchain, which is really cool because in the financial world, CDs are one of the biggest, utilized assets for people to store their wealth, right? They get a little bit of extra yield or interest, if you will, at the bank when you lock up your money. And the longer you lock it up, the more interest you could potentially earn. And it replicates that on chain. And I'm glad you brought up the bull and bear markets, because that's one thing I wish I would have taken more consideration. I wouldn't want any hex whatsoever coming due during the absolute bottom of the bear.
No,
I would want my T shares to be working for me during that time. And once your hex comes due, when you go to create a new stake, you're gonna get less T shares. T shares are the money printers in the system. You'll get less T shares than you would initially. So why would I want to go back and get less T shares in the bear? We're not going to have those current T shares just working for me all throughout the bear market, printing me more hex, going in to the next bull.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'll even show you how to go do it right now. We're going to do a very oversimplified version of what you need to do. How about that? We'll do a little onboarding here live.
Love it.
All right. So if you are not in crypto as well, we're going to make the assumption that we're real well versed in this space. You are going to go over to a website right here called 0x Coast. You're going to go make an account. And essentially, this is going to be like a money exchange where you can turn your fiat, your dollars, into crypto. And in fact, it'll let you turn your dollars into crypto right on the Pulse Chain blockchain. If you already have money over on Ethereum, then you can go right over here to bridge.pulsechain.com. You can click on this right here. And once again, this is for if you have currency on Ethereum, you can connect your wallet. You're going to need a MetaMask account. I'm not going to go through all the little nitty-gritty details. Feel free to DM Corey or I if you want that. But once you're here, you're going to connect your wallet. You'll be able to bridge your assets over to Pulse Chain, and you'll be able to transact. And then my favorite place, I think this is Corey's as well, is to go and swap for some hex. We're going to go to Pidius.io. I'm going to launch the app. Once you're here, once again, you're just going to need to connect your wallet. Highly recommend using a hardware wallet if you're not aware of what that is.
It's not showing Pidius on that screen, Dane.
Gosh, dang it. This one. There we go.
There you go.
So go ahead and you connect your wallet. You make your swap here. Use a hardware wallet. Highly recommend that. Once again, DM us if you need more help. We're happy to do it. You just come in here. For instance, if you had Pulse, you're just going to choose Hex down here. You could swap your Pulse for Hex or whatever. You're swapping this top asset for the bottom one. You put in the amounts here, whatever it may be. You're going to make your swap. The Hex will show up in your wallet. And once it does, the place that I prefer to go and stake any hex is icosa.pro.
Me too.
Yeah. You just press launch app. Once you're here, you're going to connect your wallet. Let's see if mine will connect. This is just my test wallet on my computer. I don't see why it wouldn't connect. Let's try it. Oh, whoops. I clicked the wrong one. Hold on. Let me come back here. Let's connect my wallet.
While you're doing that, I'll answer his next question. Would you stake during the bear, walk throughout your strat? Yes, I would buy hex during the bear and set up your staking strategy and chill in the bull, right? But be mindful when you're staking long term, the next bear potential cycle. Now, it might not hold true, but we need to look back at history and data and see what the best outcome or the best probabilities are, so we can make the best decisions with our money. And so you just want to make sure that for me personally, would not want any hex coming out in the next bear. So the bear is a great time to stake. It's a great time to accumulate. That's what we call the accumulation zone. We accumulate our hex during the bear. We create whatever stakes. I can't advise on your staking strategy. Everyone's got such a financial place and that's different in their life. Like, for example, I was talking about the crypto coffee one time. If you only had $100 to invest in hex, I would say, yeah, buy in the bear and stake at 5.555. That's all you got, because you would want to put that as a long punt because you don't have a lot of economic energy to put in the ecosystem. But if you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars or maybe $1 million, then maybe you want to front load a lot of that. So it's completely up to you on your financial situation, but creating everything in the bear is ideal.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So once you have that, and I think that's a great point. As far as staking ladder, like for instance, Corey and I have ours very front heavy, where the majority of our hex is going to be unstaked in the next 12 to 18 months. And that'll give us an opportunity to be able to do whatever we're going to do with it, ideally near the top of this bull run. I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait 15 years to get rich. And Corey and I have big enough bags that it'll be a meaningful amount in one bull run.
Yep.
So you take that into account however you see fit. And once again, everybody has their own opinion. So yeah, you come here, and I'm going to skip the hex staking in this part because I wouldn't do that anymore. I just come right here to the Hedron section, and you're going to click on create stake. It's going to allow you to be able to create a stake that you can move from wallet to wallet. You could sell the stake earlier if you wanted, but you just create the stake. And then once again, we've already bought our hex. Just indicate how much hex here you're going to stake. And you can indicate for whatever the length may be. So for instance, if you're rolling with us, you want to try to exit near this bull run, maybe you're going to do it, like a year. So you'll do 365 days. You'll put in whatever day you want here. For your stake type, I always do HSI encapsulated. That gives me.
I have an exception to that.
I do not.
On my short, I do native because you're qualified for all the airdrops, because HSIs are not qualified for any airdrops. But yeah, I see why you'd want that. So all my long-term stakes, I do have some, 5555 HSIs. Like those are HSIs because I want to have options. But yeah, on my short-term, like my 6 month, my rolling, those are all native. So, but I I understand why you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You make a decision there. And this is a beautiful thing is like Corey and I, generally speaking, we're aligned on pretty well all of our crypto stuff that we do, but we have different things where we do it a little bit different. And this is one of those things. There's no right or wrong, just difference of preference.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, you just choose which one you want. If you're like Corey and you're wrong, you can choose native. If you're like me and you're right, you can choose. Just kidding. You can choose whatever you want, and then you go ahead. It'll say, I think it says create stake here right now. I don't have any hex in this wallet. So just follow the on-screen prompts and you'll be able to create your hex stake. Make sure, if I'm not mistaken, you have a 2-week time frame for which to go claim that hex stake without incurring any penalties. Just make sure I put a notification on my calendar for my phone so I know when those come due so I can go and claim them and I don't have any penalties. But that is a very oversimplified version of how you go and buy it and stake it. But like I said, DM us. We're happy to help you kind of muddle through it if you need more help.
The one great thing I love about using the icosahedron DApp versus the other, there's a lot of community front ends, and we love them all that are building, and we love even the IPFS option you can do, which is just an extra click. But I love this front end because anytime you go to end your stake, you go in stake. One of the options on there is mint Hedron.
Right.
And I made a mistake on one of my short stakes. This was like a year ago. Maybe it was a year and a half ago. I had a short stake come due, and it was a native stake, and I was using the hex.com front end at the time. And I minted my hex, and I forgot to mint my Hedron. And that wasn't a lot. It was probably like maybe $100 or a couple $100 worth. But it was a couple $100 lesson because I realized that later in the day, I realized it was, wait, did I mint my Hedron? I'm like, I didn't mint my Hedron. It cost me a couple $100. No big deal. So now I always use this because now that we've really built up pretty good sized bags, it would suck to not go in there and mint your Hedron. And whether it's a few $100 or a few $1,000s, it's extra money, for your portfolio. So yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Well, cool guys. We did a little bit of onboarding today. Once again, I'm telling you guys, I don't know how you could be more sure about the Richard Hart ecosystem after the sacrifice wallet started buying. We're all in. I couldn't feel more confident about telling the world about what's going on. Once again, we don't give anybody financial advice. Everyone needs to go make their own decisions. For us, we feel really good about where we're at. We feel really good about why we've been here, and we're excited to be here with you guys. We want to tell the world about what we're doing before the next top.
Tell the world.
We will not be the guys shielding the top. We want to let you know when we're buying, when we feel like it's a good opportunity. And we'll also give you some ideas of when we think we're exiting and how to do so responsibly.
Liquidity providing is going to be our friend to the top side. What is that? Is that the bid or the offer? I always get those confused. The bid is the, or is it the offer?
Okay.
I think it's the offer. You're doing the offer. The bid is the You guys tell me in the comments real quick, or we're logging off. Is offer when you're selling, or is offer when you're buying? And no one knows. Okay. Bid and ask. Oh, that's it. The bid and ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bid and ask. Yeah. So you're putting the bid in. Yeah, you're putting a bid in on the top side. Yep. Ask is buying, I think. So even if Brizology doesn't know, like the bid. Yeah. So you're putting the bid in for the and for the ask that's coming in. That makes sense. You're putting the bid in for the ask. Okay. That's what we want to do when we go to exit.
Yep, absolutely. Well, cool, guys. Once again, thank you for being here. There's a lot of you guys that are new to the show. This is one of our highest attended shows, so we really appreciate you guys. Smash the like, subscribe, all that stuff on your way out. We're here to pump your bags.
See you guys on the next one.
Yep.